So now we're going to do the butter icing. So it's red hot out there, but at my car was looking 36. So with the butter icing, and there's going to be water icing as well. I'm going to use, first of all, for the butter icing, I'm going to turn the oven off for now because I'm not making the lemon scones. My guests are going to come and I haven't got time. Make them like lemon and blueberry scones. I'm ready for them, but I haven't done them. Now, it's time to do the butter icing. So, butter icing. What do we need? Well, we need butter, don't we? Obviously. Now, how much is in this one? And how much is in that one? Well, we're going to use this one. Okay? We're going to use half of it and go from there, okay? Right. And again, we need a sturdy spoon. So, don't we? Wash it. You want a pretty dry spoon for this. So I'm going to get myself a new spoon because that's wet. I don't think you really want any water in the butter icing. So another sturdy spoon is gotten. And you just, you know. This should make some nice butter icing. So they're going to be here soon, so. Then personally, I don't know how much icing sugar I'd use, to be honest with you. Quite a bit, I think. So turn the oven off for now because I'll have to do that when they've gone. We're not going to have time to do the lemon and blueberry scones. Oh. Icing sugar. Nice. So, I don't quite know how much I'm going to use of this, but I'm just going to empty it in and so we go from there. And then I'll need half to go on top, won't I? There's only going to have a little bit of buttercream in it, so I only want half of this. I want that. It's very hot. Oh yeah, that's okay, I've got plenty there. So we need to keep 8 ounces. As I say, you don't want water in it, so better with it. I'm using a sieve. I'm going to put my spoon there in a minute. I'm going to use the sieve. A bit more. You can always use more. Oh dear, well that wasn't very good, was it? So I'm going to use my hands for quick. I think that's the end of the ice and sugars. You are really supposed to use, you know, a knife or a spoon to get it through, but it's being a nuisance. You want it as fine, you don't want lumps in it. You know what I mean? So, I'm making the butter icing. They're not going to be here yet, but they won't be long now. I've literally got a few minutes to get it all sorted out with a candle on it. Hopefully. I've been working hard since 12, before 12, you know. But there was a lot to do, I mean. If I hadn't had to go out and get some shopping, it would have been better, but I did, so. Anyway, we're going to put the rest of the ice and sugar in there. And as I say, I always do this. I mean, I do look like Willie Rushing under his Irish. I couldn't care less. Well, I'm not used to it's the first trolling I've got, so I must be getting famous on YouTube. I don't think I'll be needing this corn flour, so I'm putting it back. And then we're going to mix in the icing sugar with the butter and a bit of milk. So we'll see how this goes now. Oh yeah. I don't know if I've got more ice and sugar, but I doubt it. So I'm going to have to be really careful, you know what I mean? So you just... We'll be here soon. I didn't really want this dress on, but what can you do, eh? I don't know what other dress I can put on. I might just leave it on, who cares? Oh yeah, I don't think I'd want any more ice and sugar in that. You have to really mix this in. Don't be lazy and start putting the milk in, yes. Okay? Really work it in. Okay? And I've got some raspberry seedless jam. The cake's a bit burnt at the edges, but what can you do? I mean, unless you cook them separately, I guess. At least they're not gooey in the middle, and they're not very thick either. I probably just would have been better doing one cake and cutting it in half at AO. But then nothing's ever perfect. Don't worry. Not, you know, the best chefs mishaps happen. That oven's very hot, you see, but I did turn it down. Maybe I had it too hot because it's a fan oven. So I should have probably had it just slightly about 170 maybe. Same with scones when I make them. So we're nearly there. And we're going to use I'd use fresh milk. Now this will keep in the fridge for a few days, you know. If you put it in a container, keep a while. Once you've mixed it properly. But the milk might go off, I think. Might have made it before, and it's not. But I always use fresh milk anyway. There's still sugar there, so I've still got to mix it in. Oh God, I need to sit down, really. Oh, this is hard work. I'm not getting any younger, you know. Oh. I think I used to stand up all day. It's just that it's rather hard work cooking. And I've forgotten how hard it was. I've got to go and get my steps again in a minute to get that cake stand down from the top of my cupboard. Right. It's time to add just a bit of milk. Just add it bit by bit. You can always add, but you can't take away. Remember that. You can always add, but you can't take away. What do I look like with my scarf? Still, it's better than getting hairs in your food, isn't it? God. That's hard, that one. I think that must be ready for the milk now. Now, as I say, you can always add, but you can't take away. Now I'm going to get a little jug for this. Oh. A little jug. It's over here somewhere. Here it is. Little jug. Now this is milk off Rose, so we're going to see how it. We'll start with this one. Let's close the fridge. Yeah, it looks fine. Rose fine. Just a bit. You only want a bit. So we add it bit by bit. Okay. Don't know if you have got any more rice and sugar. If I have, it's not up there. Certainly not up there. So I must need more of that on the end. Anyway, we're just going to use a little bit, okay? And I mean just a drop, maybe a couple of teaspoonsfuls. Because as I said, you can always add, but you can't take away. But you also need a creamy, you know what I mean? You need a nice, you need the constituency, like you've whipped up a little double cream, if you know what I mean. And then just give it a good beating now, okay? You give it the constituency of cream, okay? It probably needs a bit more icing sugar in that. It's just as well I put it through a sieve with that lumps in it. So you want it about that constituency, maybe a bit thicker. Just give it a good beat. Meanwhile, for the top of the cake, again I'm using hands because you can use a spoon, but this sieve's not the best sieve, I can tell you that. On this one, you only really need a tiny bit of water. Mainly that's being boiled, but it's lukewarm. It just makes it better. And sometimes you can put cream of tartar in, put vanilla in it, but I'm not doing it. Well, I might do, I don't know what I might do. And I think with that one, that should be enough. And I might use a bit more cream, put more ice and sugar in the buttercream, so when I come back to that. So it's nearly done now, folks. So I've got to decide what colour I'm going to do it. Now with the icing sugar for the top, and I think that's quite a bit, don't you? But it's not really. You use a bladed knife. So I'm going to take some of this and put it over here in that one because I felt it was a bit thick and thin, and I'm going to mix it up real nice now. Oh yeah, that's all it needed, just a touch more. And it was just enough. This ice and sugar's going everywhere, but don't worry about that. Don't worry about making a mess in your kitchen. Your kitchen's not meant to be for a show home, is it? Now I think that's about right. Yeah, and then for the icing sugar, I'm going to use a double bladed, a strong knife, like this one. You're really better with a palette knife. I'm going to get some water in this little cup. there. I'm going to come back over here and it's going to be bit by bit. Okay? Bit by bit. Remember what I said? Yeah. So it's literally, that's quite hot, that. So I'm going to let it cool down a minute. I'm going to go and pick a colour. I've got my vanilla lessons and I'm going to go and pick a colour. So, he's a gentleman. So we'll take that into consideration. And let's have a look at the colours. Let's see. What colour do you think he'd like? I think he'd like green. I haven't done green. Look at that almond. Or lemon maybe? Red. Yellow. Red. Green. Green. We'll have green. No, we won't have green. What's that one? Pink. Oh, we want pink, will we? Oh, some men not got anything wrong with a man if he wants pink, but I'm just saying. Brown, chocolate brown. Blue. I'm going for blue. Okay. So, before you add your colour and your vanilla drops, mix it with the water with your clean knife. Now some of that knife got dirty then. Make sure it's dry, even though you're mixing it with water. Make it well. Bit by bit, remember. Do it as fast as you can. Bit by bit. Remember, you can add, but you can't take away. And too much water and ice and sugar when I haven't got a lot of ice and sugar isn't good. And make certain about, you know, your colourings. So that's not enough yet. Obviously it needs a bit more water than that, but just bit by bit. So you get it the right constituency. It takes practice and many attempts. Now that's gotta be right. It should get every bit of ice and sugar. We'll make it thick. You can always make it thinner later. I like a thick icing because it grows set as well, hasn't it? You know what I mean? Right. Give it another twist. They'll be here in a minute. Now, you add a little drop of this vanilla. Just a drop. A drop. Now I'm going to make it quite blue, but I want it bright blue. So we're going to have pale blue. Just a couple of drops should be. As I said, you can always add, but you can't take away. Let's see how that goes. I might want more blue, I don't know. Mix it real in. Yeah, you wouldn't want too much blue in that. That was more than enough blue. Yeah. Yeah, I don't want it marble. Well, I wouldn't mind it marbly effect. But I like it blue. No, we don't want more blue than that. That's more than enough blue. So that's going back. They don't go on very tight, these. That's more than enough blue. Okay. How's my cake doing? still warm yet. No, it's not cold enough, I think. So I'm going to mix this icing up a bit more. I'm just in time for 3 o'clock. It's not here yet, but it won't be long. You're going to get dirty making cooking rice. Don't worry about it. Now, I'm going to add a drop of water to this. A drop. That's it. And then give it one last. You gotta get it the right, you know what I mean. You gotta really stir it up now with the knife. That's the blue I desired. And then I've got to find myself a candle. I've got plenty about all over the place, but you know. It's nearly a 70th, isn't it? Next year, that'll be a big one. Why do we celebrate all these milestones? No, we're really 70. It's 12 months really here because they mess about with the calendar, you know. Oh. Now for me, that's the perfect constituency. You have to really put some elbow grease when you're cooking, you know what I mean? So, I'm going to wash my hands and put the blooming thing together now. And I'm going to get that cake thing down. Blue apples for a bit. So, there's my handy step ladders. These were a bargain, these £8.99 before they locked us all down. I bought them from Aldi and they looked clear. They were going to not let you buy things that were non-essential, but you could buy alcohol, couldn't you? Anyway, up here is a cake thing. Oh, that was hard work. I don't know what that is. Up we go. I think I'm going to put the vanilla away as well. The less we can have out. Tidy up as you go along, isn't it? Oh. Oh. Just about. Go up there. Get down there. And get the step ladders back away. Oh. Oh. Cake thing. Step ladders away. And I think I'll leave the door open so that when they come I won't be disturbed when I'm putting it out. So, my front door is open. Now, icing over there. I've done the ice, I've done the butter icing. We're going to give it a stir before we put on our cake. This is that. Move everything over here. We're going to make the scones later on. So I knew this was the first time I've ever used this. I got this from a charity shop. I thought it's not being used. So we could have done with a doily, but we haven't got such a thing, so we're not going to have such a thing. So this sugar's going back over there. This can go there. Now, I'm going to need a big board here. A big board. So, that can go there. Whew. My word, I've worked hard today. And that was just making a cake, so there's a lot to go in it, isn't there? So, this is going to be the top. And I'm going to scrape this off it, if I can. Just get a knife. And I'm going to try and cut that bit away with a big knife. Which reminds me, I gave my son's first part of his wedding present, which was like, so I might have to cut that off around the edges, yeah. It's a bit burnt, I'm not having it burnt like that. Just, it's going to be a bit, that's fine. And maybe just there, you know, so it's like lays flat. Yeah, you get that. And I'll probably cut that bit off too there. We don't want crispy cake, do we? Be alright though. Anyway, that's that. Now, put that there a minute. Get rid of this cake in here. Now, we're going to get it. That's one end. On this end, it's going to have just the top off. Just to give it a flatter way when I lay it down. I'm going to cut a little thin layer off. I'm going to reese it. Oh. Get the jam. And for this, we're using Co-op Fruity Cedar Jam. It'll be a bit of a wobbly cake, but never mind. It's a homemade cake, so what do they expect? So we put the jam on one end, spread it right round. You don't want it too thick, but you don't want it too thin, if you know what I mean. Right round it. And yeah, all you need is like a dessert spoonful just to make sure it's spread evenly. You don't want to use the same spoon. Luckily my carpet's non-stick, so don't put butter in your jam or it goes mouldy. Butter knife. Found that out the other day. I knew that anyway, but I didn't know. Now, put the jam in the cupboard again. God, I'll be needing this water. Get the other end. Get your buttercream. Give it another stir. Got the constituency of very whipped cream. That's how you want it, really. I didn't put no cream or tartar in the top icing. I don't know if I've got some. I'm going to have a look in a minute. I think I have, actually. Give it a good stir. You don't want like Like, you know, you don't want powdery bits in it. It's gotta be. Make sure you wipe your spoon clean. Give it another stir, you know what I mean? Because you're getting powder on your spoon. Now, just put all your cream in the middle. All of it, if you can, because I've just made enough for a cake. Maybe you could cover it in buttercream if you wish. You could do whatever you want with the cake. You can just have jam if you don't want, but this buttercream's nice, made with real butter, of course. Fresh Somerset, West Country butter. I think it could have been Welsh, butter, I can't remember now. Anyway, this is perfect. Just spread it as evenly as you can. This is the top of my cake. Okay. Try and, my hands are clean. Don't put your fingers in your mouth if you're cooking for someone else. Now, this one, go in the middle of this one. And there we are. Press it down, not too firmly, a little break. Get your other icing, which I'm going to look for some cream of tartar if I've got any. Which I have, but I don't know where it is. Anyway, and I probably have at the bottom of something. There's none in there. It would be awkward, wouldn't it? Egg rice. Could be anywhere. I'm sure it'll be tasting nice even though it's a bit burnt. A bit well done. I'll have to know that about my oven in the future, but I didn't, so. Here's the cream of tartar. Now, I'm only going to use a bit of this. There we go. Cream of tartar. I wonder what it is. I don't even know what cream of tartar is, but still, here we go. And there we go. Mix it all in. Oh, they're running loose. Mix your cream of tartar and rice in. Now I think this helps access it, you know what I mean? Or it does something. Really mix it in. Don't leave lumps of white in it. Now this is the right constituency. So I'm all ready for my guest in a minute. So just some cream of tartar not mixed in. Not putting any more sugar, any more water in it. It's just thick enough for me. Try and get it all to the edge of the bowl. Try and get it all on your knife and let it go in the middle like that. You have to wash your hands a lot, don't you? That's just the right blue, that. I only put a few drops in. But I can't. It's like Thomas the Tank Engine blue almost, isn't it? Like a turquoise. It's a lucky colour. Just keep going and going and going until You've got all your icing out, like so. Well, not waste any. Don't suck your fingers until you've done. Don't worry, I won't. Well, I'll tell you what, that cream, buttercream, is very nice. The thick is not too much icing. You don't know that it's thick in these rice. It's not always easy to do. I even put filter water in my kettle, you know. I just thought I'd say that. So all I've got to do now is spread it out. It will go smooth itself. Can you see the cake moving with me? You need something to keep it. Okay. All I need now is a candle. I would have liked that to have spread to the sides, but it won't. It'll do it itself, I guess. It will spread out the way I do it. It's just a little too thick maybe, but you know, it'll settle. So let's try and trim it off there. You can't make it perfect, you know what I mean? It's a homemade cake. You could, but I'm not going to, and it's just a homemade cake. No one made me a birthday cake for my birthday, so. Then very carefully, we're going to put it on this pretty place. We've got a nice knife there, haven't we? So I wouldn't get a spatula. Try and put your fingers under it like so and pull it there. That's my birthday cake. I'm just going to get a candle to finish it off. Here's a little candle holder. Pull it in. I haven't got no candles in there. I know I've got candles, but I'll find one. Note to self. Buy more candles. I've got gold ones, but anyway, there we are. Birthday cake. Very happy with that. I mean, I didn't like it getting burnt, and I think it'd have been better making it as one, but still. And maybe a bit. Well, it looks perfect, so, well, you know, for me, it's worth all that effort. But you see how long it took? Are we seeing it? There we go. Now handle. So I'm going to finish off there and put it on the table. And I'm going to go and get ready for my guest. Bye. I'll be back with lemon and blueberry scones later.